Hello YouTube, this is Pikerize and I am back for more adventures in my single player, hardcore. I really said that all weird, I am sorry. But last time I was talking about the Toronto tour with the Bowling Green State University men's chorus. And I'm being an idiot here, sorry. There we go. Yeah. Which was another great tour. Let's see, the next year would have been, I want to say the next year would have been 04, and in 2004 I had a scheduling conflict and could not be in the men's chorus. I had a class during the same time that the chorus met, so obviously couldn't do it. Oh, and that year they went to Florida, so I really didn't miss much. I don't care to go to Florida. Florida smells like swamps. It sucks. And if you're from Florida, I stand by that. Oh. Poop. So then, let's see. The next year would have been 2005, 2004, 2005 year. That was the one that I was thinking of. That is when we again broke from tradition and we went to Colorado. And I think the main reason we went was our director studied at in Colorado. Like, that's where he had done his master's and doctorate work, if I remember correctly. So, it was kind of a homecoming kind of thing for him. And other than the long bus rides, because it was, I think we had one or two performances in Ohio, and then just straight drive to Colorado on tour buses, so that we could get as much time in that area as possible. Let's reverse that. We performed all the way out to Colorado, and at the end, we just did a straight drive back to Ohio. And we might have had a couple performances in Ohio once we got back into the state, but for the most part, it was just and we're done. Oh, sorry, yawn. Where do I want to go? It's raining, so I don't really want to be outside. So, alright, let's go down this way again. So, Colorado. I had never, at this point in my life, I had never been west of the Mississippi. Which I'm sure some of you are like, big deal. There's a lot of people who have never been west of the Mississippi. But I had been to Europe twice in high school. And I was just like, I'd never been west of the Mississippi. This is going to be fun. I'm going to go west of the Mississippi for the first time ever. And the tour truly was, I will say, it is my favorite one overall. Let's see. The main place we went was Breckenridge, Colorado. It's a ski resort town, but it was great. There was snow on the ground. I love snow. And it was this really nice, tourist town. Everything was really expensive. I remember there was a handmade glass shop we went into, and there was this really cool orange glass bowl on a table for sale. And I was with a buddy. We were hanging out that day. Everybody else went skiing, and I'm not one for skiing. I'm a big guy. I'm going to break a leg. We went and did other things, and I'll get into that. But we went into this little art / glassware shop. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool looking bowl. I wonder how much it costs, because I was like, I might buy it if it's not too expensive. $5,000. I was like, okay, we're leaving, because I'm going to break something, and I don't have $5,000 to spend on a freaking bowl. you know, we're out of here. But some amazing art, like really, truly amazing art, but just too expensive. Let's see. But that day, instead of going skiing, I went and got a tattoo. I only have two tattoos, the one I talked about in the previous episode and this one. And both I got while in the men's chorus on a spring tour, as much as my mom hates it. The second one is the former emblem of Bowling Green State University with the letters BGMC, Bowling Green Men's Chorus, inside the emblem. If I can, maybe I'll figure out a way to link this. I don't think I can actually do that kind of stuff, but we'll see. It was one I had thought about a lot more than I did my first tattoo. I loved Bowling Green State University. It's, it was as important to my life as just about anything else. I met my wife there. I went to school. I got my education there. I became an adult there. Like, I learned how to be responsible. I didn't have my parents always, there to back me up or what have you. Even though my parents were basically there anytime I needed them, I was, by myself. I had to do stuff on my own for the most part. But yeah, that tattoo I thought about a lot more. And while we were in Breckenridge, we were on homestays, basically because hotels in Breckenridge are really expensive. It's a tourist town, so yeah. Oh, I hear a zombie. Is it upstairs? I wonder. Okay. And at the homestay, and okay, here's the funny thing about this homestay. We are on our way to their house, and they're like, well, we got to go up the mountain, and, they were saying, they were like humble bragging. If you're familiar with that concept, it's where you're trying to be humble, but you're still bragging, and they're like, our house is only worth 1.2 million. The one up the mountain's worth 5, the one down the mountain's worth 3. It's like, yeah, only 1.2 million. But you also got to think of the environment that they're in. Building on the side of a mountain is not cheap. Probably the hardest thing is getting water. It's very hard. It's very expensive to pump water up a mountain. So, what they had was this collection tank that when the spring thaw came, they had a tank that would collect the melting snow and ice. And that would be their water. That was how much they needed the thaw to happen so that they got water. It is really, I was like, that's, there's a bit of a romantic feeling to that. But at the same time, it's, if you run out of water, you run out of water. But they were great people. They had sort of trained some local crows. They would put raw chicken eggs out on their balcony or on the porch, and these crows would come in. Actually, it might have been ravens, whichever one's bigger. These things were huge. Came in, would grab the egg in their beak, and then fly off. And they were just amazing. And also, actually that morning when we woke up, they had said that they had woken up to a black bear out in the yard as well, which I was disappointed because I like bears. Bears are cool. I would love to see a bear in real life outside of the zoo. But I had asked them if, and these are some really nice people, but I asked them, do they know of any good tattoo parlors? and the wife was taking evening classes for something. I think she was just one of those people that, she's got the time, she's going to take a class. She's got the time, she's going to take the class. And they had the money. Um, but she comes back that evening being like, go see, his name was Gringo. And I can't remember the name. It was like the Blue Clam or something. I mean, it had the name that sounded like a gay bar. But I can't remember what it is now. But I went in and, the guy asked me what I wanted, and I told him, and he's like, and I asked for Gringo, which, by the way, Gringo was not a gringo. Gringo was a Hispanic. A gringo is a non-Hispanic. That's not so much their derogatory term, but it is a derogatory term. And he's like, it should take me about, 45 minutes to an hour. And, I had the emblem on a hat, and he scanned it, and then we enlarged it so that it looked proportionately sized for my calf, because I got it on the outside of my right calf. And I think that was about $100. His prices were a little up there, but it was one that I wanted, and I'm a firm believer is if you really want it, the price doesn't matter too much. And I got it done, and that is one I would never regret. I love that tattoo. And even my mother, who does not like tattoos, said, she likes this one. Like, she does not like the fact that I got another tattoo, but she likes this tattoo because it has a very special meaning and whatnot in my life. But yes, Breckenridge was an amazing place. That evening, myself, the guy that was with me, and the other two guys that were with us on this homestay, who, the one who went with me to the tattoo parlor and another one were both roommates of mine at one point or another in college. And the other one was just a really close friend, who we called Hyphen, because he had a hyphen in his name. He had, was it two? I think he had two first names, and his parents hyphenated them. Like, I think they couldn't, if I remember correctly, they couldn't decide to what to name him, so they hyphenated his first name. Whereas many people would hyphenate the last names of their child if they don't want to, if like the wife gets married, the woman gets married and she doesn't want to give up her last name, and so they, it would be like Smith-Jones. But we went to this restaurant called Rasta Pasta, and it was a Jamaican-style Italian restaurant. Like, they had, spaghetti, lasagna, basically a pasta restaurant, not even really an Italian restaurant, because much of what we eat in the United States that we can call Italian isn't actually Italian. It's more of American Italian. But, basically a pasta restaurant, all with a Jamaican flavor. And that's where I had my first Red Stripe. I was of legal age, so I had no problem getting beer. And oh my God, because of the higher elevation, I succumbed to the alcohol much quicker, which was good because it was expensive alcohol, just because of where we were at. It's an expensive town. I think that's 10 minutes. Let me finish this story. Probably way over 10 minutes, but I'm going to finish this story. And so we went to Rasta Pasta. Amazing. I think I had like spaghetti and meatballs or something, but it was so good. So freaking good. And then later that evening, we went to a bar in the area, and it just happened to be a night where Bacardi was sponsoring the night. Like, they were trying to promote a new drink of some kind, and as long as you were ordering Bacardi, you were drinking for free. And we let the word out, or actually the word got to us from various people, and we kept letting it out. And much like the Toronto tour, many of the men's chorus ended up in this bar, drinking heavily, but this time it was all for free. I don't remember much about that night. I do remember that our homestay, they had an emergency and they had to take their grandson to the hospital, but that wasn't because of us. I did not get a young child drunk, I swear. Actually, I don't remember what happened to the child. But that's where we had to meet him outside the emergency clinic. But we got there, and that was a fun night. I'm going to slowly make my way back up top, and then I'll finish this video. Colorado, we went to Denver as well. I was out of money by the time we got to Denver. But the hotel we stayed at was a dry... You weren't allowed to bring in your own alcohol. And that didn't really work for us. So we snuck in alcohol. We just left it in our bags and didn't tell anybody. I don't know. It was... they wanted you, I think, to go down to their bar or go to the mini bar in your room and such like that. But Denver was really cool. We were only there for a night, which, you know, stinks. It would have been nice to have seen more of Denver. But at one point, we broke down in Nebraska, and literally Nebraska sucks. I hate Nebraska. I wish we would dig up Nebraska, fill it with water, and drop Puerto Rico in the middle. Where we broke down was at a four-way intersection of some random highway. On one corner there was an RV not manufacturer, but an RV like lot where you could go and buy RVs. Another one was a gas station which closed at 3 when there was two buses of like 80 to 100 guys outside, just like, dude, you're gonna make bank. Just stay open. And a tire plant or a tire store, and I think a garage of some kind. It was just middle of freaking nowhere, flat forever. Nebraska sucks. Just as much as White Castle sucks, in my opinion. But I need to stop that here. That's been a longer video probably than I wanted to do. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.